If you clicked on this video is because you want to actually start taking notes the right way. And let me tell you something, you are on the right place. So first, what's a good note? In my case, it's a note that I can easily find without wasting minutes sorting through folders, understand it without revisit it after 90 days, use it with another note, and finally boost my knowledge bank. And honestly, this is just like a fancy word for saying second brain. Now that we understand what is a good note, perhaps might be different for you, but I just get like to give you an idea uh, before moving forward. And also, let me switch to light mode. And for that, let me just go to the desktop app, which just came up 3 days ago. Let's get it! Hope that your eyes are not hurting. So, the problem with traditional note taking we learned from school, and I see this until now with some folks that are still in university, they are taking notes exactly the same way that I learned it in high school, which was horrible. And what it does to you is it programs you into becoming a robot, highlighting sentences and words, search the page, read to remember what it was about, and then repeat. It, you don't prime your brain into making new connections between your ideas and thoughts, and becomes messy quickly and forces you to be quote unquote organized, which for me did not work very well because I never found those notes any like any longer. I don't even remember where they are. And so if you are coming into the digital world and you are trying to recreate your notes the same way you were doing it when you were taking it like on paper from like in school, then it's gonna get messy real quick. And so by understanding how you're going to take notes the right way in order to remember them, that's how you'll never forget any notes anymore. So the solution to start taking notes the right way for me is to write mini essays as if you're teaching to someone, which will force you to explain it. Okay. If you can't, you don't understand it, which is a good problem because you'll start looking in the right direction to really understand it. And so, what it does for you, it's first, yes, you're not gonna, I won't say like it's 99% accurate, but you will have less difficulty remembering what you were writing about. And most importantly, you'll start making connections really, really quickly because of that. It forces your brain to think. When you're just writing like a robot, taking notes that you don't even understand, you don't remember anything. It's like when you're reading. Like there's sometimes I read a book, I don't even remember what I just read. And to remember what I just read, I take notes, but I take smart notes. That's the difference. Okay. The second solution, there are introspective notes, which could be also called core notes, and we're gonna explore what that is exactly. And the third one is a combination of both. So you write mini essays and you write introspective notes. So this is an example of what an introspective notes is. The concept of empty space. It's an introspective note that I've taken 2 months ago, I think. So let me give you an example with that. So that's a template that I created for myself. Basically, could be, this could be in a sense like an essay, but it's not, okay? Because it's not structured. It's just like dumping down thoughts and ideas as they come uh, as they come through, but not necessarily in a structured way. It's completely messy, but it's uh, it's structured inside your brain, primed for connections. So let me explain to you what that means. Let me just close everything so we can start from the beginning. Okay. What this introspective note template looks like. So we have three folders, or I won't gonna call them like folders just for you to understand, but basically they are core notes, or not. Not actually core notes. The core notes is this entire template. This is an element. Apologies for the mislabeling. So this is a core note entirely, okay? And those are elements. So multiple elements together gives you the final core note, okay? So first element, basically learning. This is what I called it. And you have to understand that you can create your own introspective note template for you to help yourself remember better your notes. So, for example, the first block, first element, let your mind wander and capture what comes up. So this is the idea that I had that crossed my mind that I wanted to, understand better, right? So that I can, when someone asks me about empty space, I can explain it in a better way instead of just saying, "Oh, it's empty space," and that doesn't mean anything. So what's interesting about this? And then why did it catch my attention? And then what feels important? And after I enter into all of this, I explore interesting angles. So just explore the idea further, no structure needed again. And those are more observations. Okay. So what else comes to mind? Where does this lead? What's beneath the surface? And then we're going into sparks. So I note anything that makes me think of completely freely without forcing, just like putting any natural links that comes to mind. So for instance, this is just like more connections that I come up with. But here we have the first connection, which was white space in design, pauses in speech, less is more concept. First one, like similar to what parallels naturally emerge. And then the second connection block will be like, reminds me of where have you seen similar patterns? And so I responded here, Japanese gardens, minimalistic minimalistic architectures. Another one could connect to, what does this remind you of? Daily routine, digital decluttering, minimalism. And then the last blocks, let me come here. So a question that arises: how do Japanese gardeners use empty space? Could this apply to daily routines? Could this apply to digital brain? Things to look into more. Japanese concept of ma, minimalism in different cultures, psychology of space. Like, what does that do if I go study, this specific area in psychology? And just from top of mind, I remember that, a cluttered mind equal cluttered thoughts. Cluttered thoughts equals sometimes depression, low energy, and so on and so forth. And so when you do your chores, you have a clean space, you become more productive because your brain is like rested. Anyway, you see, with just because of this core node, introspective node, now you can call it whatever you want, I start making more connections that help me write about this topic with more depth, and I understand it way, way better from when I started from the beginning. And now, whenever I want to come back to this and I'm on Cortex, I'm not going to start like sorting through my folders, trying to find this. What is it? What is it? What I do is Command K, and then let's say there's a concept of empty space, and then I'm going to find it. And then it's going to open here. Okay. So that's only one way of starting to understand better your thoughts. This is a core note. And then also you can, let's say, add your another block. That will be, let's say, just a toggle, because I don't want to start do me just do an element, which will be, and you can also create your elements directly here. So let's say I want to create a new element, and I want to call it mini essay, and then like this. Oh shit! I did not. I forgot. I forgot to upgrade. Okay, I'm gonna upgrade after that. Anyway, here I have the element, and you start writing your essay, and then you can, let's say, J essay, and then you can tag it again for finished. Or let's say you know that you haven't finished your essay to, and then if I do Command K, and I do a tag, and there is a essay to finish, it's gonna come up with this here directly. All right, so that's basically the gist of what I wanted to show you in terms of how to start taking notes the right way to remember them. Because from the moment I started doing this, it's extremely rare that I forget a note. It's just so simple because every time that I try to be organized and try to find document in here for like sorting through folders, I will spend 20 minutes just to find a document. Instead of going Command K and just understanding how my brain function to find my notes. And it's really with keywords all the time, just keywords, empty space. And let's say I look for, I see if I wrote about something interesting, let's say uh, copywriting, just to see. Yeah, so I know that I don't have any kind of notes on copywriting. If I go here, so that will be like my my current focus is to learn practice copywriting techniques. That's how I find my notes in most cases. If I know that I wrote about basketball, that's for sure. So yeah, uh, ethical direction. So yeah, that's how I come up with my ideas and how I write those notes. There are other ways depending on what I'm writing about, but that's for another video. Hopefully, this wasn't overwhelming because I know that sometimes it's a lot when it comes to building a second brain, writing notes, dealing with a messy brain, dealing with a lot of ideas, a lot of thoughts, and you just don't know what to do and how to do it. And so, with that, I advise you to watch my previous video about my setup, the way that I organize my folders, but not to go through them, just to understand how to replicate those template. Okay, this template is gonna be available on the description, so just click on it. You duplicate it. By the way, it's free. The reason why that popped up is because I was premium, but I forgot to update my credit card. Anyway, it's free. Can start for free, and you can get a lot done for free. You don't need to upgrade. It's just a perks that comes with it. Anyway, I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye.